Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, Missouri police are investigating the death of a young baby after a body was discovered in the woods. Plus, San Diego volunteers have created phone charging stations for migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. And early heat waves took hold over the weekend in parts of the Pacific Northeast, with temperatures nearing or breaking records in some areas.
And on the outside, we're seeing cloudy skies of the Crossroads region. There's a live view from Cuero, by the way. And rain showers today, and thunderstorms also likely today. We'll give you the details in your forecast.
Lots of area athletes in state championships this week. I'll have that coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain. Today is the 15th day of May 2023. The time is now 6:31 on your Monday morning, and today it is the International Day of Families. So be sure to reach out to a family member today and tell them how much you appreciate them. All right, let's go ahead and turn to First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining. Trey, I've got to do this with my grandmother. I don't stay in touch with her nearly enough. So that's my relative that I'm going to call today, Trey.
There you go. Yes, I'll call my sister and her and see how she's doing and her family, and mom's here in town and other family members that I'll get in contact with. I always got to keep in contact with them and let them know that you care, you love them, and you're there. So very important to do so. And taking a look at our weather here, we're seeing some rain showers along the coast, moving into Palacios area now near Seadrift, just south of Port O'Connor, moving inland throughout the day today. And that's going to continue the stream of moisture all the way into the deep tropics near the Yucatan Peninsula, moving through the area today and keeping our precipitation and humidity high right on through the day on Wednesday. Because of previous rains, we have a flood warning still in effect along the San Antonio River at Goliad, finally below flood stage by your Wednesday afternoon. For the Guadalupe River at Bloomington, it's going to be finally below flood stage by Wednesday evening. So, but I think with the more rain we're expected to have today, the next couple of days, these numbers will be changing pretty much. So just pay attention to the river rises and falls and the crest times, because we'll keep you updated right here. I'm sure they'll change with the more high widespread rain anticipated today. Doppler radar once again shows the rain showers along the coast, Palacios area to Port O'Connor and near Seadrift, working its way inland throughout the day. Temperature is in the 70s area-wide, definitely on the warm and humid side, no doubt about it. You can feel the humidity out there. Just step out a few steps from the house and you're already saturated in sweat pretty much. It's going to be the case today with rain showers and thunderstorm chances pretty high. What about the rest of the week this week? Well, there's going to be a break in the precipitation coming up by Wednesday or so, courtesy of the next front. We'll talk about that in your full forecast all days of the week later on this half hour once again. Make it a great day today. Stay cool and carry that umbrella with you. You won't regret it. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey. Police are investigating the death of a young baby after a body was discovered in the woods in Kansas City, Missouri. Police were dispatched to the wooded area on Saturday shortly before 8 p.m. A caller had been in the woods and helped officers locate what they believed to be a dead body. Officers found the body of a young baby that had been dead for some time. Police say the case remains a death investigation until results from the medical examiner have been gathered. Investigators say they believe someone has important information regarding the case, and they are asking the public for help. San Diego volunteers have created phone charging stations for migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. Along with basic necessities like food and water, cell phones are a lifeline for migrants. They need them to apply for asylum on the Customs and Border Patrol One mobile app and to keep in touch with family and friends. In just one day, organizers say they charged over 100 phones. Organizers say they plan on being at the border to charge migrants' phones as long as they can. An early heat wave took hold over the weekend in parts of the Pacific Northeast, with temperatures nearing or breaking records in some areas. The National Weather Service issued a heat advisory extending from Saturday through today for much of the western parts of Oregon. The organization says the temperatures could raise the risk of heat-related illness, especially for those who are dehydrated or don't have effective cooling. Temperatures were in the low 90-degree range in Portland over the weekend. And this from the DeWitt County Sheriff's Office. A flood warning in effect until Wednesday morning. As of now, roads are open, but use caution for possible standing water. Do not attempt to drive through running water over the road. It may appear passable, but it only takes 1 inch of water under tires to sweep a vehicle off the roadway. As of 3:20 this morning, the Guadalupe River Aquero was at 27.83 feet and was previously expected to crest at 27.7 feet this afternoon. Multiple road closures reported in DeWitt County. DeWitt County Sheriff's Office says there are flooded roadways throughout the county. Many of the roads are barricaded. They've run out of barricades after setting them up, and they're continuing to monitor those highways and farm to market roads. Be careful when driving and avoid any flooded or barricaded roadways. And here's the latest from the Lavaca County Office of Emergency Management. As of 7 p.m. Sunday, County Road 123 at Vienna Baptist Church and the Navidad River is closed, as well as County Road 14 at Speaks and the Navidad River. Both have high water and are impassable due to depth and flow. The Navidad River expected to crest sometime today. It was still rising Sunday. Those roads are closed this morning through Monday through today until crews can assess and repair them. And the roads included are County Road 302 due to a washout under the roadway, County Road 353 due to roadway surface damage, and County Road 265 due to roadway and culvert damage. Lavaca County school administrators have been notified, and they are preparing for bus routes set to be taken this morning. And in Edna, due to the heavy rains and already saturated grounds, there are many streets throughout town holding water. The city asking that everyone stay home when possible and to not drive through high water in areas causing wakes and water to push further up into yards. Anyone caught driving through high water areas unnecessarily could receive a citation. And now to the race for 2024. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis not officially in the race yet, but at Iowa this weekend he took advantage of bad weather to contrast himself with former President Trump.
This morning, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis appears closer to announcing his run for the White House, focusing on voters in Iowa who will be the first to cast ballots in 2024.
Governor, what made you come here tonight? Just want to say hi to people.
Over the weekend, DeSantis capitalized on a change of plans by former President Trump, adding a stop to a restaurant in Des Moines. Trump's campaign had postponed a rally hours earlier, just 2 miles away, citing a tornado warning.
Canceled it. Big disappointment. It's been canceled for the night, unfortunately.
Trump drawing skepticism for postponing his event. The communications director for a group supporting DeSantis tweeted a picture describing a beautiful Iowa evening. DeSantis described what he called a culture of losing in the Republican Party without mentioning Trump by name.
Governing is not about building a brand or talking on social media and virtue signaling. It's ultimately about winning and about producing results.
Reacting to DeSantis' appearance, the Iowa Democratic Party chair said, no matter who ends up being the GOP nominee, it's clear MAGA Republicans support the most extreme candidates in our history. The most recent ABC News Washington Post poll of Republicans and GOP-leaning independents showed 51% prefer Trump to be the Republican nominee, more than double Governor Ron DeSantis, his nearest opponent. The poll was conducted before Trump was found liable for the sexual abuse of writer E. Jean Carroll. Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
And now let's take a look at your viewer poll related to the areas flooded in the crossroads this morning. We want to know, do you have flood insurance? Okay, let's take a look. 28% of you say yes, and 72% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote. And the time is now 6:39 on your Monday morning. Still ahead, hundreds of surfers gathered on a beach over the weekend to honor a bride who was killed on the day of her wedding.
The head of Homeland Security announcing surprising new numbers about migrant crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border just 4 days after Title 42 expired. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with those details ahead.
So looking at warm temperatures this morning, everyone in the 70s except for Refugio, which is in the 68-degree range. Definitely warm on the outside today in the afternoon with rainy conditions. We'll talk about that coming up. Good morning, and happy Monday. Trey Mining here, and high pressure to our east, helping that tropical flow in from the Gulf of Mexico and give us rain chances again today. That, in combination with the tropical low pressure along the coast, helps to create lift in the atmosphere. And watching this stationary front, which has been stationary for a while now in northern Texas, finally get the push by high pressure to the north to push through our region coming up by Wednesday afternoon, I'm thinking, which will bring an end to the rain, at least temporarily. Until then, we're dealing with high humidity and rainfall chances fairly high coming up for the next few days. In Port Lavaca, plan my day, 7 a.m., 73 degrees. And then by 12 noon, thunderstorms are likely in the coastal waters and around Port Lavaca and Victoria area in the 70s by then. Topping 80 degrees by 4 p.m. in the afternoon with the rain chances still fairly high, southerly winds. So keep that umbrella handy in the next couple of days. This will change the river forecast, I know, coming up the next day or two. So keep that in mind and keep checking back. And your full forecast also comes along a little bit later on this half hour. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. We now get an update on a few area athletes from our 25 News Now weekend sports anchor, Zach Brown.
We shine the spotlight on many area athletes who competed in state. Others we may not have gotten to, starting with the Edna relay team consisting of Jaden Clay, Campton Hicks, Caleb Rodas, and Cade Rodas. The boys didn't qualify for a medal, but nice to see them compete. Now they get ready to make another deep playoff run in football. August will be here before you know it. Shiner also could not medal, but showed up in numerous events. Dalton Brooks, 5th in the long jump. Kaylee Bedeker, 6th in the shot put. The girls relay teams set personal bests in both relays and also set a Shiner High School record in the 4x400 relay. The boys relay was 7th, always an accomplishment to make it this far. One more time for Mr. Ernest Campbell. He ran a 10.22 in the 100-meter dash. That is a 2A record. He is the fastest athlete in all of Texas. He has 1 year left and is looking to break the state record regardless of what class it is. If you notice, he looks a little upset. That's because he wanted to break that record, but he's got 1 more year to do so. Congratulations to everyone who made it to the track meets in state. With your 25 Sports Now, I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. Turning now to a surprising development on the U.S.-Mexico border. The U.S. Homeland Security Secretary reports that border encounters are down by 50%. That decrease comes just 4 days after the pandemic-era health policy allowing the U.S. to deport most migrants expired. And now buses are carrying migrants that are arriving from border states to Democrat-led cities across the country.
In the nation's capital, dozens of migrants arrived outside the vice president's residence Sunday night. And in New York City, 3 migrant buses arrived over the weekend, and a Manhattan hotel is being converted into an emergency migrant shelter. New York Mayor Eric Adams says his city is overwhelmed and plans to bus more migrants to suburbs. As U.S. cities struggle to support arriving migrants, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is reporting a major downturn in migrant crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border.
Over the past 2 days, the United States Border Patrol has seen an approximately 50% drop in the number of people encountered at our southern border.
That drop comes just days after Title 42, the pandemic-era health policy that allowed the U.S. to deport most migrants, expired last week. President Biden responding.
My hope is they'll continue to go down, but we have a lot more work to do.
Mayorkas says the U.S.'s stricter asylum-seeking policies are making an impact. The new rules call for non-Mexican migrants seeking asylum to first show proof they've been denied protection from a country they passed through on their way to the U.S. border. They're also required to use a federal app to make an appointment, though many migrants say it's been difficult to do so due to glitches and a lack of cell service. Breaking these rules could mean deportation plus a 5-year ban on entering the U.S. And the ACLU is now suing the Biden administration, likening its new border policies to the Trump administration and calling asylum bans cruel and illegal. Secretary Mayorkas firing back, insisting those Biden-era policies are not an asylum ban. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Hundreds of surfers gathered on Folly Beach over the weekend to honor the bride who was killed on the day of her wedding. A paddle out even was held Saturday morning to honor Sam Hutchison. The bride lost her life on her wedding day just 2 weeks ago on the beach when a golf cart she was riding was struck by a drunk driver. Hundreds of people came to the paddle out to support the families. They held flowers with the bride's name on them. The groom even showed up still wearing his wedding band. And due to rain this weekend, the memorial service for the 19 undocumented immigrants killed on May 14, 2003 was rescheduled to Saturday, May 20th. It happened 20 years ago at Fleming Prairie Road near U.S. Highway 77. The victims died inside the back of a hot-packed tractor trailer. A total of 70 people were inside the truck, which reached 173 degrees. A 5-year-old boy was among the dead. The time is now 6:47 on your Monday morning. Still ahead on 25 News Now Sunrise. It's been 1 year since a mass shooting claimed 10 lives at a racist attack at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York. Okay, time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Kelsey. She's turning 33 today. Hope you have a great time celebrating with friends and family. Happy birthday. And happy birthday to British musician, composer, record producer, and visual artist Brian Eno. He is turning 75 today. Happy birthday, Brian. To see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com. Click on More and under Home. You'll see KVU submit your birthday. The time is just about 6:48 on your Monday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today, or maybe you did this weekend. We'll be right back.
And good morning, Trey Mining here. Happy Monday. Rain showers along the coast working their way inland throughout the day. Currently near Palacios, Seadrift, getting some rain showers also near Port Lavaca and Port O'Connor. And with the instability in place, definitely the moisture in place, daytime heating I think is going to add to the instability pretty well and give us widespread thunderstorms by the afternoon time, 11 or 12 o'clock in and around Victoria, moving on through. As the tropical pressure along the Gulf of Mexico coast here moves inland as well, so keep those rain chances alive for your Monday into your Tuesday, and lasting even into your Wednesday because of the moisture in place. Front push that precipitation offshore, give us some drier conditions coming up by Wednesday afternoon and evening. 82 degrees today. Thunderstorms are likely here and there. Some could be heavy, so watch weather developments and be mindful of that as you're traveling today, especially. Overnight low 68 degrees, cloudy skies, and then for your day tomorrow, keeping the high temperatures in the low 80s again. Scattered thunderstorms, not anything as widespread as we'll see today. 60% chance today, alert day because of the heavy rain threat. And we'll get the rain chances going through your Wednesday, drier Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday could be some precipitation, rain chances coming in with the next front on that day. In the meantime, stay cool, carry umbrella, drive safely, and make it a great Monday.
It's been 1 year since the mass shooting claimed 10 lives in a racist attack at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York. The city paused Sunday to honor those victims with a remembrance ceremony. Family, friends, neighbors, and state and local leaders gathered outside the Tops Friendly Market. For words of encouragement, a reading of the names of those who lost their lives and those who were injured, and a chiming of the bells. A moment of silence was also observed at the exact moment the shooting happened at 2:28 p.m. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A 13-year-old girl in Florida sharing her experience after surviving a shark attack on Thursday. And now it's time for today's question of the day. Today we want to know, the tornado shown in The Wizard of Oz was made out of this material. What is it? Okay, Trey, we've had several guesses this morning. We've had guesses of muslin cloth, and let's see, someone guessed rubber. Let's see, Orla says cows, houses, and trees. That's always funny. And let's see, oh, muslin cloth made from steel gantry. That's awfully specific there, Kenneth. And Janet says muslin cloth. Okay, we're ready for the answer, Trey.
All right, thanks everyone for chiming in to the question of the day. And of course, the tornado was back in 1939, was caught on film. Well, it wasn't a real tornado, it was a lady's nylon stocking that was stretched across the screen there, and they moved it by hand. So looks realistic to me, so that's what it is. There you go. And by the way, it's National Nylon Stocking Day, so that kind of ties into what the National Day is for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow to get your question of the day going and get you going for your Tuesday. We'll have a good one for you by then.
A 13-year-old girl in Florida sharing her experience after surviving a shark attack. Ella Reed is often at the beach, but her day at the beach took a startling turn when she was bitten by a shark. The shark bypassed her friend before taking a bite at her stomach, finger, arm, and leg. The teens got out of the water and Ella was driven home on a golf cart. Her parents were informed of the attack and she was taken to the hospital for treatment. But Ella hasn't let the attack stop her from enjoying the beach. She returned to the area less than 24 hours after her encounter. Victoria County Commissioner set to meet this morning at 10 a.m. in room 241 on the second floor of the Victoria County Courthouse. That's at 115 North Bridge Street. And they're going to hear a report from the Victoria County Fire Marshal regarding area volunteer fire departments as well as compliance inspections. And they'll also consider approving an invoice from Raleigh McCoy and Associates for the Victoria Regional Airport building demo project. You can watch the meeting live from the Victoria County's Facebook page. And here are the current river flood warnings posted for the crossroads from the National Weather Service. A flood warning in effect Wednesday afternoon for the Guadalupe River here in Victoria, with moderate flooding occurring and forecasted. As of 3:15 a.m. this morning, the river was at 28.48 feet, and there's major lowland flooding with many parts of Fordyce, Fox, and Timber Drive roads closed. Parts of Riverside Park are also flooded. A flooding warning remains in effect until further notice, with moderate flooding in the Guadalupe River at Bloomington. This as of 3 a.m. this morning. The river was at 26.53 feet and is expected to continue to rise to a crest near 26.9 feet late this morning. The flood stage there is at 20 feet. Another flood warning in effect until Wednesday afternoon for the San Antonio River at Goliad. That's expected to crest at 30.1 feet early Wednesday morning, and the flood stage there is currently at, or rather the water levels there are currently at 26.56 feet. And here's a road closure from the city of Victoria. North Bend Jordan Street from Seguin Avenue to the Silverado Trail is closed due to the roadway collapsing as a result of heavy rainfall. The city asking drivers to find alternate routes. And also from the city of Victoria, the boat ramp, Fox's Bend, Grover's Bend will all remain closed through this week as river levels are expected to remain high. Parks and Recreation will continue to monitor the river to determine when these areas can be reopened. Wow, Trey, a lot of precipitation in our area participating in the forecast. Trey, what can we expect this week?
Well, I got a feeling those river levels will probably change, and the crest times and the peak times will probably change because of rain chances in that forecast today coming in over the Gulf of Mexico. So keep that in mind. And pretty much throughout the afternoon hours could be some locally heavy rain today. Beginning to subside by Wednesday, 82 degrees today. Thunderstorms are likely some heavy, so be mindful of that. Overnight lows 68 degrees, and chances of rain for tomorrow not as widespread as there will be today. Keeping in the low 80s though. And looking at our temperatures throughout the next several days, rain comes to an end on Wednesday after the front moves through, near 9 degrees by Friday and Saturday, with another rain chance for Sunday. So be careful out there, of course. Turn around, don't drown as you come across a flooded roadway, and make it a safe and great day today. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. It sure looks like a fine week to make some chocolate chip cookies. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. Come to crossroadstoday.com for all the latest news, weather, and sports. And join us tonight at 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.